confusion that your search was over, that struggle transformed into solution, that resistance cleared and allowed for soaring success. This is now possible as what you've been asking for is being shared. Expert entrepreneurs offer their transformation story because of a personal alignment to a product or service that resulted in holistic happiness. Their health, their wealth, their relationships have all improved, and they are extending this opportunity to you so that you may find exactly what you've been looking for. Welcome to the Health and Wealth by Word of Mouth series, brought to you by Light on Living, where we introduce you to what could be the way to your own prosperity and abundance. Welcome everyone to Light on Living's presentation of Health and Wealth by Word of Mouth interview series. We've had 1 week, 2 guests thus far, and we're bringing on our third expert entrepreneur. And today's this is such a fun, super fun one. They're all fun, but this one's especially fun because it really adds, and I mean this, a new dimension to our world and the way we see it. Today we are literally sprinkling color and clarity throughout your world with Moira Bush. And Moira Bush is actually a spiritual teacher and mentor, and she founded the Moira Bush Academy. She's the author of 8 Colors of Prosperity. And why we have her here today specifically on this series is Moira deals with astrology, numerology, and my favorite, colors, all kinds of colors, and how they can help us not just now and in this year 2020, but for our lives. So I would like to welcome Moira to the series. Hello.
Hello, Lisa. Hello, listeners. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, this is just, I have seen your show, the Magenta Show, and first of all, it's beautiful. Just when you first see the screenshot, even there's just colors and they're so beautifully done and elegant, but they mean something. And I just find this fascinating that colors really, I have a favorite color, but my sister hates it. It's pink, and my sister could throw up when she sees it. And I just am so drawn to it, but that must mean something. So I want to ask you to kick off this whole thing. Well, there's 2 questions, but one question was, how did you decide that colors would be involved in your career?
Actually, it wasn't a decision at all. I had no interest in colors. I was always drawn to black and dark browns, and I wasn't very colorful at all. And it was because I was. Color calls you. I feel color and working with color as a therapy system is a calling. So it literally arrived in my space when I wasn't looking for it, when I wasn't seeing it. I'm one of those people that the way I remember color as a child was seeing oil with that rainbow colors in it reflected off the tarmac, on the pavement where oil was spilt. I wasn't one of those people gazing longingly at a rainbow in the sky. So, the colors didn't have that call for me. And yet when I discovered the color mirror system and the psychology behind color, it hooked me in, and that's it. And I've been dedicating my entire life since I met Melissa Jolly, the founder of the Color Mirror System in 2003. I've dedicated my whole career, my business, my life, everything I do, I work through the filter of color.
This is absolutely fascinating to me because, I did not know that about you as a child and how color wasn't really a thing. But what I love right now is that some people are really searching. There's 2 things. Maybe they don't love their career or what they're doing right now. There's no passion in it, or they're not well. Their wellness, their health just isn't there. And who even knew? Maybe they could have a career in color as well. But most importantly, does color affect our health? The colors that we have around us. Did your health change when colors started being a part of your life?
We can't make medical claims about what alternative medicines do. What we can do is look at the history of when we work with clients or when people have certain colors around them. There is a physiological response to color. So, for example, somebody that has a lot of headaches is going to pick the colors violet. Somebody that's got a tummy upset is going to pick the colors yellow. Somebody who's got heartache, they will inevitably pick green, and it's the color of the heart chakra.
Yes.
So you're color coded. Your body is color coded through ancient systems that have been handed down by the East to us to understand how our bodies have got chakras and various colors. So the way I look at it is, if your heart is broken and you've been betrayed in some way, you are stressing that green part, which is your heart area, and it starts leaking green. So everything you then see around you is through a filter of green. So you're going to start wearing green jumpers, you're going to start wanting to drink green juices, you're going to start painting your bedroom green, and Lord forbid that you actually go and buy a green car and regret it in a month's time when your heart is healed. But, you would do silly stuff. Suddenly all you can see is green. So somebody comes to me in my practice and picks a green bottle, and I'll say to them, you're thinking of divorce. You've just split up. Your heart's broken. And they'll go, are you psychic? How do you know that? No, that's just what the color tells you. It has a language. It has a physiology. But it will also indicate somebody who actually has angina or physical heart issues. So we've just over the years that we've worked with it, you see the synchronicity, and you can't help but notice that people with those heart, physical issues and emotional issues all pick green.
That is absolutely fascinating. I have to point out, I talk about my sister a lot on air, and she suffers intensely from migraines, and her favorite color is purple. And you mentioned violet, so I think that's beyond fascinating. And so is it the color? Now, there's a spectrum of color. So you might say violet or lavender or purple. Does each shade have a difference? Like a level of something?
There is, yes. When I teach people how to become color practitioners and therapists, we go through 19 different colors. So we even look at platinums and golds and silvers and diamonds. We look at the metallics as well. Copper, black, white, and then all the colors in between. But then there's the pastel shades, there's the corals.
Yes.
So, and the coral is made of a mixture of yellow and pink, and that says something that has a specific message. So yes, it's an incredible hue, it's an incredible rainbow.
This is absolutely, I'm just looking at this tapestry in front of me right now that I purchased. It was made handmade in India, and it has so many colors. Like there's like every color, and then it has all the metallic beads sewn on it. And whenever I look at it, you're right, I'm drawn to very like blues and pinks, and the things. But other, like even when I look at the black, let's say, I actually feel heavy and sad, and like I don't want to look at the black. And so many people love black, and everybody calls that the neutral color. But is black a neutral color, really?
It is, and it's an absorption. So, black is, that's why black's worn at funerals, because you're in such shock, and you're in the grieving process, and you don't want everybody to always be seeing everything. So you wear black like a cloaking device, to help you stay together, to hold you together. Women who wear a lot of black in the corporate world, they're up against the whole masculine authoritative system. So black helps them to have a little bit of to claim a little bit of power and to claim a little bit of authority, to stand up in that environment. So black serves many useful, and it's very good for when you're going through a rebirth or a reinvention. You don't know who you are, and you don't know what you want to do. So black is very soothing in those cases. But then, of course, black is also denotes the dark side of power. That you associate black with evil and with the shadow side. So, but it has, if we didn't have black, we wouldn't see the white. And then the white is made up of all the colors. So without black, we have no color.
Right, exactly. I guess that's what they truly mean, dress for success. In that, like we're dressing, yes, in a way that we would, that could support us. So in this series, because it is about health and wealth, we could literally, by changing, like I'm wearing, a hoodie, a sweater right now, but if I were to change the color, I know that my mood changes immediately too.
Yes.
And so
and the way people respond to you. If you walk into a room and for example, you're going to see your bank manager and you are determined to get an increase in your credit or a loan or a business loan, or you're speaking to an angel investor, and you walk in with a certain color. That color you wear can help determine whether you're going to qualify for that financial backing or not. So it's important to understand colors as well, not just from the health perspective, but also how it supports your manifestation process, how it will support you getting what you want, what you desire. And
Yes.
that has been a hobby of mine, is to find out how does the law of attraction work, and how, when we do wear certain colors, how does it influence people that we interact with, or how does it influence the energy and the frequency that we are transmitting with that color and our physical body's energy into a room.
Mm. This is I'm right now I'm thinking about being qualified by color. I just imagine this little sign up there. Let's see, why was I declined? Well, I wasn't wearing the right color. But very, very, very true. Now, with you, how many students have you? I don't want to say trained, but taught. Like how many students have actually gone through for this color?
Hundreds and hundreds all over the world. I've been very fortunate. I was born in South Africa. And I moved to England, and I lived there for 15 years. And I've been in Canada I'm in my 5th year now. And I've been very fortunate. I have traveled and taught people in South Korea, Spain, Portugal, all over Europe, America, and here in Canada. So I'm fairly well traveled and fairly well, getting the color mirrors. Color mirrors is a system that just it got into my system, into my mind, into my body, and it literally has taken me all over the world. And people just call. I've just recently been training, and I did this over the internet. I actually didn't go to Australia, but we've recently set up a center of product distribution and training in Australia, near Perth. So, the color mirror system, it just takes you where it needs to go. So coming to Canada was not in my ideal location to live in the world when I come from sunny South Africa.
Right. What brought you here?
A husband, a Canadian husband.
Love.
But it brought me here because Canada is having this spiritual revolution and evolution being activated right now. The consciousness here is beginning to expand, and there's more and more people asking for spirituality. And, the last 5 years that I have been in Canada, I've attended a lot of entrepreneurial seminars and events, and they, instead of being on stage and preaching about how to create and manifest money, they're talking about how to spiritually create and manifest money. So the whole spiritual language and the principles that we want to base our life in is filtering through into the corporate environment, the entrepreneurial environment. So Canada's ripe and ready for something like color mirrors, who can teach you a step-by-step process of manifestation and of healing and creating a life where there's balance and well-being.
I love that. And you're right. I can feel that. And being a Canadian and here in Canada, I feel that. And which leads me to my really fun next question is, because you're specifically saying a country can have an evolution and resolution. As we, like a single individual, I found that, sometimes I'll go through 10 years of loving a color or being drawn to, but then my next 10 or 7 years. So you do numerology as well and astrology. Yeah. And I wonder, does the color that you are drawn to run in cycles relating to numerology or charts?
Yes, absolutely. I'll give you an example of that, Lisa. Okay. I know you're born, your birthday, your month is October. What day are you born? Just the day?
16th.
16. All right. So what I do is I've actually got on my academy, I've launched a 2020 predictions program, and in there's a lesson that explains how I do this calculation. So I take the day you are born, the 16th. I take the month you are born, which is the 10th, and then I add to it the current year. And what that does is, in numbers, it gives me a current year number and color and planet that is going to have an influence on how you manifest and on how you look after your health and your wealth. And then, so let's have a look here. So you are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my goodness, you're in a 3-year, Lisa. That's actually brilliant. That's a really good year. That's a very good year. Now, in the actual lessons that I have, there is, for example, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. Let's do a quick prediction for you. Does that sound like fun?
I think that sounds like a gift already. I'm already up here.
All right. So the keynote for you is about awakening to authentic power. That's the theme for you in a 3-year. And it's going to be about creating wealth, but it's wealth where there's balance, creating love, joy, and money. So it's not just focusing on creating income or looking for ways you can balance your physical material money, but it's also looking at how can I create more self-love and love for others and joy in what I do. So there is, and the tip here is to connect your inner shaman. There's this healing partner that is a part of you. Yeah, your planet is Jupiter, and Jupiter is always about coming out behind your insecurities, and fears of being a fraud and not being real, to claim that authentic power. And your challenge from Jupiter this year is do something radically different.
Ooh, oh boy.
Now, your year number 3, your keyword is transparency. And I know because I've spoken to you and I've connected with you, you already have that lovely energy. So you're already ahead of the game there. And then your color is coral. And the coral color helps you to become more benevolent, wise, and empowered. And coral attracts. If you were wearing the color coral and had more coral around you in this 2020 year, you're going to find that more opportunities of growth can be attracted towards you.
I have to tell you, the color of my hoodie that I chose is coral today. And I was like, that's awesome. Okay.
Now, your health prediction for 2020 says you need to focus on alternative therapies as well as sound therapy, things like drumming and chanting. Then
something in chanting?
Yeah, chanting. Yeah, drumming, chanting, any kind of sound therapy. Yeah.
Yes, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would suggest that in the summer, when there's powwows happening with some of our local tribes, is to see if you can go to a powwow and connect to some drumming. That would be really useful for you.
Well, thank you. And I'll take this opportunity that if anybody else is out there right now and they have a powwow or a drum circle and you would like to invite me to it, I would love that. So anyways, let me know if you're out there listening and you have one going on.
Excellent. So your wealth prediction for 2020 in your 3-year. This is about letting go. This is a very big pattern for people in a 3-year, Lisa. It's about letting go beliefs that you need to make a sacrifice to achieve your goals. We have in our consciousness, for example, if you don't sweat and physically exert yourself in the gym, you're never going to get fit. So we have this feeling of I have to sacrifice eating things. I have to sacrifice resting. I have to sacrifice, and I have to suffer. My muscles must ache. Otherwise, I feel I'm not achieving anything. So that's a very old belief system around sacrifice and needing to bleed to be spiritual. So that is something that has to come. We're moving into a consciousness, a 5D consciousness, which is about ease and flow and comfort and luxury and relaxation and things just flowing without you needing to feel like you make a sacrifice. So when it comes to creating wealth, it's about finding the easiest, graceful route to create your abundance. Is that useful?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. And so many words, but the graceful route to abundance, that's a pretty, it makes me feel, and it's also completely right. I feel like those are the paths, but you know what's so helpful with that is that color, like you said, surrounding myself with coral, because that's not probably a color I would typically choose, but knowing that would help my vibration, and now also knowing with this numerology assistance and the Jupiter, knowing the planets, because I wouldn't know this, and how do you just Google that? You can't just find these things.
This is something that I do. I've been doing it for 10 years, and I have had accurate predictions using colors, numbers, and planets. I predicted what was going to happen with Prince Harry. That was in November last year already, before it even hit the news. The year before, I predicted that our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, was going to have a costume drama scandal, and that happened. So, and this isn't because, yes, I do have psychic abilities. I am able to foresee in certain energies, but it's all because I have the support of this known system, ancient systems, that is colors, numbers, and astrology, and the planet's information. So, and it's such a useful tool. I did want to give to you something else, Lisa, very quickly, is your dragon for the year. You have a dragon guide. It's a Chinese golden dragon, a very flamboyant showmanship kind of energy that is going to make sure that you show yourself and that you don't hide.
Oh, wow.
And your angel guide for the year is the lilac angel, and your spiritual guide and mentor this year is Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is the goddess. Yeah, the goddess of prosperity and beauty. So you're set for an incredible number 3 year.
Wow, I think I'm going to get some coral and gold, shiny gold dragons around. This is fun. Suddenly my style has changed, which is good though, and I think this is what's helpful for people to find out what's holding them back from success in both wealth and health, and what they not just to fear it and run from it, but to step into something that will support them. Like what you this was a mini one. I feel like you're just giving me everything.
Yeah.
If
Well,
somebody
it's a glimpse into the future. And what I've had is I have a lot of people who are married, who are couples, and who are business partners who do those predictions every year with me. And then they can kind of look ahead and go, okay, so, at this point, at this time of the year, this is where I'm going to have difficulty. Will you support me? And that opens a dialogue and a communication. So you're prepared. You kind of know, look, in a 3-year, I'm going to have Jupiter hammer me and say, hey, you got to expand. You can't stay small. You're going to have the color coral bring opportunities to you. Be on the alert so you don't miss them. So partners then begin to support one another.
Your language is so beautiful. I haven't stopped writing. It's funny because I know I can listen back to the show, which I hope everybody will also too. But predictions to help prepare. Yes. I love the lines. Yeah. That is something super wonderful because when people are stuck even, they do need to prepare they're not going to go from stuck to leaps and, well, they could. There you go. Yeah. I need to let go of that belief right there that they have to work hard. Okay, I recognized it. Thank you so much already. It's taking effect. But yes.
This whole energy of being prepared, Lisa, is important because it's how I prepare for my year ahead. So I kind of know where I'm going to be taken. So and that's the reason I've been putting these kind of predictions. They were my own, and I've just made them public because I know that it's helped navigate the last 10 years of my life. So I knew I was going to move to another country, and I knew what challenges I was going to face. So that when the changes started coming, I didn't go into overwhelm or resistance. So, and like 2020 is massive global events and changes. Already we started the year off with a huge bang with so many things changing and shifting. And that's what 2020's energy is going to be about. And what I'm doing is I offer free education classes for the followers on Facebook who are in my Magenta community group. Is I do free education challenges. So once a month I do a 4-day challenge, and I say, right, 2020 is coming up. What are the 4 gifts you need to be aware of? What are the 4 challenges you need to be aware of? This week, actually tomorrow, I start one that's going to be how can you manifest? What are the 4 things you need to know about manifesting in a 2020 year where all these global shifts and changes are inevitable and it's going to happen? So I do a lot of free education, and I love sharing that with the community, and I really want to invite you and your community to join in and share in that information as well.
We would have loved that, absolutely. And so there's 2 things that we're going to ask listeners to do right now. So first of all, to join the community, and we'll ask you where and how and all that. But the most important thing, too, I want to get at is that you are offering the predictions for 2020. So personal. So what does that look like?
It's on my academy, the Moira Bush Academy.teachable.com. So that's how you do it. But, if you're interested in it, the best thing is to start a conversation with me on Facebook. Send me, contact me via Messenger and just say, I'm interested in listen to the show. I'm interested. And let me just see if there's something that would be suitable that they need, that's free, or if it is the predictions course that they're interested in.
I think this is so fun. So it could be anything from something they're dealing with, anyone's dealing with their life in right now, or it could be a long term. Because how far out can predictions be?
I do them for 12 months. I normally do them for the year ahead, but 2020 is unusual. We're laying a brand new foundation for the next 5 years. So we will. So 2020 is hard work. It's build. It's construction. It's design. It's because 2017, 18, and 19 we cleared the decks. We've had 3 years of turmoil in our lives where things were turned upside down. We had to reinvent ourselves, and we kind of find ourselves at the beginning of 2020 not sure what the next step is. So 2020 is going to be, so what are the 4 cornerstones, the 4 pegs I'm going to put down? Am I going to put down a foundation of wood, concrete, pebbles, cement, water? What is the foundation I want to lay on? And then in 2021, it's become very clear what are the walls you're going to start constructing around it, and how you're going to, what is it you're going to, that will benefit you for the next 5 years. So 2020 is a super, super, super important year to super focus on building something very big that is going to be a foundation that's going to carry you for the next 5 years.
Okay, and our health is just as important, because if we don't have
Yes.
our health, well, then we can't do, like, move forward. When how well, I want to ask this, but how quickly can color shift us?
Instantly. With the color mirror system, we've got essences that you spray around you, and it changes the energy and the magnetic field around you, your force field, your aura. Then you can also bathe in bottles, and you can do that over a period of 2 to 3 weeks, and it will just begin to change things for you. It's a self-help therapy you do in your bathroom by yourself. And it's like magic. By the time you pull the plug, all your shit has gone down the drain, pardon the pun, but that's exactly what it is. Whatever you want to release in that bath, you pull the plug, and visually you get this feeling of it's gone down the drain, and my cells are cleared. Because, in your mind, you can set an intention to change something, but your body holds on. Your body doesn't like resist. It will resist. It doesn't like change. So the color has a frequency that just loosens it in your cells to make sure that it goes. So it soaks into the bath water, pull the plug, and it's gone.
So this is something that we can purchase online, or is it we create our own color somehow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a system. It's a system that's made by Melissa Jolly in South Africa, and I have a distribution center in Canada. So I import the bottles that are made. It's holy water and holy oil. That's literally what it is. It's spiritual energy captured in water and oil and put into these bottles. And that's what I do. So we're very fortunate. We have 25 practitioners and color practitioners, 4 colorists already trained in Canada that I've been nurturing and mentoring for the last 5 years. And we have another batch that's training with me. Another 4 of them are training with me in March. And it's a very specialized field, and it's a calling. So, you've got to be passionate about color. You've got to be passionate about wanting to help people at a very, very deep level, deeper than most therapies go. The color goes right to the root cause of all the issues.
I absolutely believe that. I feel that we all innately know that. And I'd like to just do this final invitation to everybody. Please connect with Moira Bush, Moira, Bush, Bush, and find her on Facebook, which is the easiest place. And just a huge thank you for sharing with me about mine, but just inspiring others already and giving them hope. They know there's possible.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you, Moira. Bye, everyone. Stay tuned for our second guest. We'll be right back after the commercial break.
Free your mind with OMTimes Radio, IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Have you bought into the idea that you have to work hard for your money, that business is hard? I will share some dynamic access consciousness tools to get you out of your own way so you can create a business that actually succeeds. Join me, Simone Millicers, on The Joy of Business at 4 p.m. Mondays Eastern.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of our brand new series. And Light on Living is presenting health and wealth by word of mouth. And as we just dive right in, I'm so excited to bring you these expert entrepreneurs, because they have found something. They were searching, or maybe, asking the universe to have something show up in their lives for them, to help them transform something, to bring them closer to a happier, healthier health and wealth. And so I've invited my second guest here, Pamela Zimmer, to join us because she does something, and I'm going to use the word very unique, and she does it uniquely because we are all unique. And she actually shares with us how we can find out just how unique we are and how to leverage that in our health and wealth success. So first of all, author, speaker, mentor, Pamela, welcome to the show.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here this morning or this afternoon.
This afternoon, yes. Well, you're in California, right? So we're different in time.
Yeah, I'm in Reno, so yep, West Coast, East Coast, so it's all good though. Time is time. So
perfect, absolutely. I love that word unique that floats around yourself. So we won't share exactly what you do just yet. We'll dive into it, but the word unique, really, did you ever think that you would be taking something that is so unique about yourself and building a business around it?
Never. I never imagined that I would have anything like what it is that I have now, that I'm able to share with so many people and help so many people change their lives. And in fact, I never even imagined that I would have a business doing anything that actually put myself first. That was a whole completely new concept, and it's just, my life has been completely shifted and changed, and I'm just so incredibly grateful.
That was so cool how you just worded that, because you're right. Most people, they think, okay, I got to get a job or I have to have a career. How do I serve others? Which is important to serve others, but it's usually we are not coming first. But you do have a bit. So now I'll let you share. You have a business that you do. So you get to put yourself first. It's based around uniqueness and you're successful. Okay. So yes, please share with us what you do.
Yes. So I'm known by many as your self-care concierge. And what I do is I help you take care of you on every level, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, so you can do what you were put on the planet to do. One of the ways that I've discovered that I've actually started to build a business around, and like you mentioned, have such huge success, is through custom DNA nutrition.
Yes.
And I'm just going to stop there for a second and just repeat it. It's custom DNA-based nutrition. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I could take a vitamin or a supplement that was made just for me, based on my DNA, and not only would change my life emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, but also support me in building wealth around a new business. It's phenomenal. Like, there's so much goodness. I don't even know where to start, Lisa.
Well, that's why I'm here. No.
Right, yeah. So you asked me questions. You're the expert on the radio, so you asked me the questions.
Oh, that's right. Expert radio host, expert entrepreneur. Well, the first question really is when we are drawn. So there are people out there taking vitamins and supplements and people who aren't. But and the biggest thing is, my question is, did you first start it? Were you drawn to even researching for a supplement because you were having health challenges or anything, or were you just a regular person floating around and looking for your vitamins?
Yeah, I was exactly that. I was just a regular person. I knew that I needed to take something to supplement my diet. I'm relatively healthy, and I say relatively because, every now and then I binge on too much sugar, too much wine, or, have like the full 3-course meal, appetizer, dinner, dessert, all of that. But we try to eat relatively healthy. But I also know that food today does not provide us the nutrients that it used to 20, 30, 100 years ago.
Yeah.
I also was someone who several years ago was experiencing that mental fog, just the exhaustion. I was tired all the time. I went to a naturopath doctor, and she did like $800 worth of testing on me. And I'm like, okay, whatever it takes. Yeah. And we did a little bit of guesswork and research, and she sent me home with literally 8 jars of things to take. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. This one says twice a day. This one says once a day, but don't take it with that one. This one's just twice a day, but you can take it with this one. And this one's once a day in the evening. And it just got too much. I couldn't handle it. So I stopped everything altogether.
Yes. And most of us do that.
Yeah. It's overwhelming. It's too much. You can't keep track of it. You need a spreadsheet and a reminder and
Yes.
like the little cups lined up on your counter with the timer and everything. And it's not realistic, especially for someone who's on the go, who is a go-getter and has purpose and drive in their life, and they have a family to take care of. It's just unrealistic. So I stopped taking everything. And about 9 or 10 months ago, actually, no, it was probably around January 2019. So about a year ago, I was introduced to this company from a very good friend of mine, and I was skeptical. I was like, oh, I don't know about this. Like a vitamin that is made just for me, how do they do that? That's not real. That's impossible. I don't know. So I took about a month and did my own research and due diligence and read articles, and I read both sides. I read the pros and the cons, the positives and the negatives, because I like to be sure. And I said, you know what? Let me give it a try because it makes sense. And it makes sense not only from a personal standpoint, but everything I stand for in my business is around self-care. And I know from the depth of my heart that self-care is unique to every single individual. What fills me up is different than what fills you up, than what fills your neighbor up, your client, your husband, your child. So if self-care is unique as far as the things that we do externally, then it just made sense that I have a vitamin and a supplement that is completely unique to me, and I call it self-care from the inside out, which is exactly what it is.
It is. I love that when having your DNA tested and then told scientifically what your, I don't want to say weaknesses, but maybe that's the case, that, is that what the report would show, like what your weaknesses are, that you want to support it so that it doesn't create a problem and it doesn't hold you back from running around and being with your family or going to, showing up in life the way you need to.
Exactly. Yeah. So we test for, and I'll get a little scientific here.
That's okay. We like science.
Okay. So we test for 18 SNPs, which are the genes that through 24 years of science and medical research, we have found that we can change the expression of them based on diet and nutrition. And we call these genes the heavy hitters. They're the ones that affect heart health, brain health, blood pressure, inflammation response, antioxidants response, all the things that actually you can have some kind of control over. They're not things like your eyes are blue, here, take this pill, now you're going to have brown eyes. Exactly. We can't change those things. And our DNA is our DNA from birth. What we're given is what we have from day one till the day we die. A blood test will show a snapshot of where you are in time, and that can change. The results of a blood test can change based on your environment. It's based on stress. It's based on what you're putting in your body. All kinds of things can make that result different.
Your blood work could literally change then by taking supplements.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. And so the things that we test for, you'll get this amazing 35-page wellness report that has your name on it. It's completely unique to you. And it shows you if you've inherited a variant on one of those 18 genes from one parent, both parents, or no parents. And it's super easy to read. It's color-coded. It's green, yellow, red. And then the following pages have information of why do we test for this one? What's important about it? Why does it help keep you healthy? And what are some ingredients that can support a healthy expression of that gene? So the report doesn't show, okay, you have a red SNP on your heart health. And I do. I have 2 reds on my report out of the 18. I have a red on my healthy heart and my vitamin B12. And for me, it just made sense.
Because red means this is a thing that you would be of concern. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So red means that I inherited a variant on that SNP for that particular gene from both my parents. It doesn't mean that I'm going to have heart disease. It doesn't mean that, oh, great, like, forget it, I'm going to have a heart attack. It just means that my body isn't working 100% the way it was designed to work, And so this custom DNA supplementation actually helps to kind of protect it and help my body do what it is supposed to do with just a little added boost. So you think of your body as like a suit of armor, and these variants are maybe like dents or chinks in the armor. The custom supplementation helps reinforce where you might have a little dent or a chink in your armor so that you can actually go out and be 100% as healthy as you possibly can be. And it doesn't mean that I can just eat whatever I want. I don't have to exercise. Absolutely not. It just gives me that little extra, it's like a little turbo boost. Here, you have a deficiency in this area. Let me help support that and bring it up to a healthy level.
I absolutely love that armor analogy. I could totally picture that, or like a catch in a sweater kind of thing, right?
Right, exactly, yeah.
And what I love that is you're pointing out is that I know a lot of people right now, which is it's sad, but I don't want to add sadness. I want to add hope to them. Is that a lot of people are struggling with their health, like what you mentioned earlier, brain fog, or some motivation, or we can even have mood swings, but even more so, we got migraines, we have inflammation that actually prevents them from even being able to hold on to a job, or to, if they are an entrepreneur, how to make sure that they get that focus and that time in every day. Because if they don't have that focus or energy to do it, and they're not able to put the action and activity into their work, they're not building the business that they could be building.
Exactly. There's that whole saying, if you don't have your health, you don't have your wealth. And it's absolutely true. And it's a cliche, and it might sound cheesy, but it's true. If you don't have your health from the inside out, if you don't have motivation, if you can't think straight, if your focus is all over the place, how are you going to get done the things that you need to move your business forward? If you don't have the, let's see. Can I share a little bit of what this has done for me?
Oh, I'd love that. Absolutely.
So I suffered through severe postpartum depression for 6 years. And I have had a history of depression even from when I was a little girl, past having young kids. My kids now are 9 and 12. They're a little bit older, still babies to me, but a little bit older.
Yes.
And I've had, adult depression and whatnot. And one of the things that taking this has done for me is it has stabilized my mood. And I was on antidepressants, and I do essential oils, and I do all the right things. I'm really adamant about my self-care, which is actually how I got to become a self-care concierge.
Yeah.
But I would still have these dips, and I would still have crazy mood swings and just not want to get out of bed. And I can't build a business when I'm in bed. Exactly. I can, but I can't,
Yeah.
And one of the major thing, I would say the number one thing that my DNA nutrition has done for me is it stabilized my mood. And that's not to say that I don't ever have a little dip, but it's like, oh, now I'm going to bounce back. Now I feel good. I'm happy a lot more regularly. My joy level is higher, and I'm excited to get up in the morning. My body's actually pulling me out of bed, whereas before I'd be like, oh, no, I don't want to get up. And my body's like, come on, let's go. We have stuff to do. You're excited about this. You feel great. Let's go. Never in my life, Lisa, has that happened to me.
That is incredible. And right there, just hearing that, like, I can feel that. Like, I love that you said my body is pulling me out of bed. Like, your body, the thing. And stabilizing mood is very important also when it comes to nutrition, because a lot of the times we do use food as our medication. And sometimes that can get us into trouble if we are choosing the wrong things. And it could be worsening the situation. So by having a supplement that's made just for us, have you noticed that helps with any cravings or just choices of food?
It does. I know that I feel fuller longer. So I'm not, I'll have my little breakfast. I'll have my supplement, my morning dose. And then I can go longer without feeling hungry, which is huge because I work from home. So the refrigerator is literally right there.
Yes.
And you know how procrastination kind of creeps in. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to make this really scary sales call. Let me just go see what's in the pantry or the refrigerator, and I'll eat something, and that'll make me feel better, and then I'll feel better to make the sales call. It's like the vicious cycle.
Exactly.
So I'm more my mind isn't going down the rabbit hole of like, ooh, what can you eat? My mind's going down the hole of who can you help today? Because you feel so great. Let's make one more call before you go in the kitchen to make lunch.
Yes.
So it's these little subtle things that honestly, I don't even really notice until months down the road where I realize like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting at my desk. It's 2:00. I should probably eat some lunch before I have to go pick up my kid from school. And it's not because I'm just working through and I'm like, no, just don't take a break. It's just because I'm not hungry.
Exactly. This is why the health and wealth is so, and literally your business, and I love that the series is named Health and Wealth by Word of Mouth. When you talk about making sales calls, is because was your career before making sales calls and word of mouth? Like your business is built by word. You have to tell people about it in order for your business to grow. So that's why we have it.
I have to. Yes.
Yeah.
So prior to this, I was an architect for 13 years. And
Oh my
I had
gosh.
a business partner, and he was the one, like he was the sales guy. He would go out, he'd make the connections. I'd write the proposal because I was really good behind the computer and really good with the layout and the words and everything. And then together we'd present the project. But I was never the one that had to pick up the phone and call someone and say, hey, I have this thing. I think it could really help you. Would you be open to watching a 7-minute video for me? And that's it. And that's literally all I have to do. And I'm telling you, every single person I talk to about this is so intrigued. And they don't all turn into customers. They don't all decide that it's right for them, and it's totally fine because I'm not attached to that. I'm just attached to sharing the information and letting them make the decision.
Right, because your attachment is to you self-caring and taking it for yourself, and that this is your mission is by word of mouth. I love it. It's so that's the huge transformation for me. It's somebody who like literally architect. Oh my gosh, you shocked me. and to picking up the phone and sharing this. And is it your full-time career now?
It's getting there. I'm actually this last year, probably the last 6 months of 2019. I really made a conscious decision to focus 100% on this and a retreat that I'm hosting in Mexico, and that's a yearly thing that I've started. My first one's coming up in February next month, so those are the two things that I'm really just focused on, and they go hand in hand because they're both with this foundation of self-care, and I love it, and I'm having success with both of them. And they fit so well together. So it's not quite my full time yet, but I can see it potentially being.
Yes, and that's so cool. So the retreat is actually showing me, it's giving me evidence of yet again another transformation, because in both health and wealth, because this is an extension, like there, people would enroll, so they're paying money, they're investing, that's something, and they're paying you to teach them how to do this, but yet you're doing something you absolutely love, which increases and betters our health because we're having fun. And I would love to hear more about that retreat. What is it? When is it? Where is it? What are you doing?
Oh my gosh, yes. The retreat's called Permission to Be, and it's based on just permission to be yourself, permission to give yourself rest, permission to pluck yourself out of your everyday life and put you someplace new, because we know that transformation occurs so much faster and deeper when you're not in your regular environment.
Yes.
And it's a 7-night all-inclusive retreat. It's yoga twice a day. It's sessions with me twice a day where we get to dive into your inner peace. So I have this acronym that I teach that is the word peace, and it's permission, experience, alignment, celebrate, and embody. And every day we get to focus on one of those words. And it's the most beautiful retreat center just outside of Cabo, Mexico. It's luxury by the ocean. It's healthy food that's cooked for you 3 meals a day. It's space to relax and rest. There's just the most delicious people. I'm going to just say that. Going. And it's truly a place where you can completely fill your cup up and return home just with that clarity of who are you, what do you want in life, and how can you give yourself permission to be that.
That is such a powerful word. I never really thought about it until Yeah, right now, permission, because we often hear the opposite, which is, I can't do that because of this. I can't. So you're not giving yourself permission even. There's so many I can'ts that I don't know that I ever linked the word permission to it really. And now I really am. I think the word plucked is hilarious. I have plucked,
Right?
Permission to be plucked. All right.
Yes. Everyone said that. Permission to be plucked. Yes.
Yes. And when do people need to enroll by if they want to sign up for this?
We do have a few spots left. So the dates are February 15th to the 22nd. There's a $500 non-refundable deposit, and then we can work out payments from that. But pretty much now would be the time to register for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they can. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no. They can. Yeah. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say they can find out more information if they go to permissiontobe.me. There's a whole website that explains everything, what they get, what's included, what's not, all of that.
That is so cool, like to a retreat. So here we go. I didn't know we were going to go. That's fun. Doing nutrition and feeling really healthy. And so, I have a question. When you get your own DNA supplementation, like you've got, it's your vitamins, your supplements is exactly what you need. Because we are talking about going to retreats and travel. Is that like a prescription? Like, you can bring that on the plane with you? Is it travelable?
Absolutely. It is. I mean, it's technically a supplement, but it's also technically food. So it's a capsule or a powder form. It's in a jar. The jar has your name on it. You don't need a prescription because you didn't get it from a doctor. And you absolutely can bring it on the plane. The other cool thing about this is because, and again, I'll get a little like techie and whatnot, but the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration, does not regulate supplements. Right. And we are not registered with the FDA as a supplement. We are registered with the FDA as a food. That's how much this product is. It's 100% plant-based. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, non-GMO. It's organic when possible, wild-crafted, sourced when not. So every ingredient in your custom blend has been scientifically peer-reviewed. We have up to 101, again, plant-based ingredients. There's minerals, vitamins, digestive enzymes, everything that you need in one jar, so you can eliminate all the other things. I eliminated those 8 jars of things that I couldn't keep track of that really weren't even helping me feel better anyway. So
right. And so you mentioned already the shift with the were there any transformations, let's say, or shifts that you weren't expecting that you thought, wow, this has actually changed my life in either your health or wealth?
Yeah. And again, like I was taking it not because I was trying to fix something. I was taking it because it made sense for me. But the number one thing that I have realized, which I will never not take it again because it's like my own personal custom made for me, plant-based antidepressant. Yes. But the second thing is I have horrible knees. I have arthritis in both of them. I have no cartilage. I've had double knee surgeries on both of them. And I would limit activities because I knew that my knees would hurt for 4 or 5 days following a hike or going dancing or a strenuous workout or something. So I wasn't moving as much as I wanted to and not nearly as much as I knew I should be. Not that I ever want to should on myself.
Right.
But the one thing that I noticed again, and it wasn't something right away, it was after about 3.5, 4 months of taking it. And we do recommend that you try it for that long because that's how long it takes for your cells to renew themselves.
Yes.
But I was at a wedding with my husband. It was his cousin's wedding, and we were dancing all night. I was in heels, and my knees were screaming at me like, stop dancing. You're going to hurt. And I was like, I'm looking down, I'm like, it's okay. The wedding's almost over. We'll ice our knees tomorrow. And I went to bed at the hotel, fully expecting that the next day I'd be hitting the ice machine and the little gift shop downstairs for Advil and be miserable the next day. And I woke up in the morning and I looked at my husband and I said, my body feels great and my knees don't hurt. What is going on? Wow. And the only thing different that I had been doing was taking my custom DNA nutrition because it's working with my inflammation response.
Yes. That and your repair, because you're able to
Yeah.
respond. This is incredible. I love that you're able to share that story right now, because funny enough, I sit on the floor a lot too, and I overcross my legs and my knees. Yes, and until I really cleaned up the diet and started getting healthy things in my body, that is actually what it wasn't like, okay, well, I need to stop sitting the way I want to sit. It was, wait a second, we have bodies that respond. So Pamela, I want to make sure that people can get a hold of you, because first of all, you're so inspiring. Even me right now, I'm like, yes, let's get the stuff we need, DNA, nutrition into our bodies. So how can they get a hold of you?
They can always find me on Facebook, Pamela Zimmer. They can message me or find me on my personal page. If they want information about the DNA nutrition, they can just text the word Euphoria, UFORIA, to the number 33777. So again, that's Euphoria to 33777. Or they can always just email me, Pamela@PamelaZimmer.com.
You make it very easy so we can, get a hold of you. That's really cool. You can text that information. But I think you're, first of all, the one of the absolute expert entrepreneurs for this complete health and wealth turnaround, and happy. You are so happy about this. So
I love it. I can't imagine doing anything else, really.
Oh, I just love hearing this. Everybody listening, if you can just feel and see just that vibration of light coming off from Pamela, first of all, get in touch with her. And secondly, find out more about your own personal DNA nutrition. It sounds like it can make the shift that you're looking for. So thank you, Pamela, for being on today's show. It's just been such an exciting pleasure.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I loved it.
All right, everybody, tune in next Monday for 2 more expert entrepreneurs on how to have health and wealth by word of mouth. It's just so much fun to share, you guys. So we'll see you next week. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.